Hello, Louisiana Beer Reviews. We're doing a duo review of a beer that's been around for 12 years, but we've only maybe gotten it for what? Well, we've been getting a pretty good bottle, maybe 8 years. It's called
Elysian. This is one of those independents that got bought out, and as soon as they got, like right before they got bought out, they sent them to us, and we got the Elysians, Space Dust, and there was a couple other ones. They had the 420 inspired one. And there's a couple other ones.
It was called Dank Dust.
One. Yeah, Dank Dust.
We got Dank Dust for a while. We got that Super Fuzz, Blood Orange one, and a whole bunch. And then they all faded away. Now we just get this, basically. And then the Pumpkin Pack.
Yeah, we get the Pumpkin Pack, which is excellent, by the way.
So I bought this at Rouse's. It was $9.99 for the 6-pack. It's about $10.24 at Walmart. And other stores, about $10.50.
Yeah. So really, it's not even worth it to track it down over 50 cents. You go from city to city, burn up gas.
I just happened to be passing through there, so I stopped and I saved money. I wouldn't have made it.
Oh, which Rouse's did you go to?
One on Carrollton.
Oh, yeah, that's just passing through.
Oh, but remember, I had to go to get a car recall repair, and then they said they knew about the recall, but there was no fix for it. So I went all the way. Now I had time to kill then.
No, I'm just saying that there's a Rouse's like close to your house that would probably save like.
Right, but I had specifically gone to the east side dealership.
At least 12 or 13 miles round trip.
Right. Well, it was a waste, but okay. So it's got a lot of particles in it. I mean, there's particles
That's why it's called Space Dust.
All throughout. It's not a clear beer, and it's bubbly, and it has a white head, and it's what, golden?
Yeah, it just smells kind of soapy.
Now the website said they call it Space Dust because when they first made it, it was supposed to be just...
Can you smell yours to see if it smells like soap as well?
I think it's just that hop resin, like vegetable hop cones. That they got a strong...
Why do y'all always refer to stuff that's in liquors and beers as vegetables? Okay, first off,
well,
hop is not a vegetable. It's a piece of a flower.
Well, vegetative, that's what I mean. It comes from a plant. It's a...
What you call it vegetables.
It's a bud.
When people think of vegetables, they think of something they can consume.
Yeah, no, not a vegetable.
Produce section. Or something that's V8's made from.
Right. So
you can't really refer to that as vegetables.
Well, I'm saying vegetative.
You didn't say that though. You said vegetables.
Okay, vegetative. Okay.
You can only judge you by the words that come out of your mouth.
And that's true. For both of us.
Maybe that mustache and haircut you're sporting now, you get quite the judgment on that.
Okay.
You know how many people have made reference to someone that's told me? I think you like the attention now.
Anyway, they said when they first made this beer, it was supposed to be for like a contest, and it was going to be like in a special pack. And they had some leftover Galaxy hops from another beer, and they just dumped it in there for their hops. And Galaxy, get it Galaxy, so they call it Space Dust. But they ended up dropping Galaxy from the recipe years later, and they used different hops. I think Amarillo now, and a couple of others.
Well, some hops are getting scarce, and some are hard to grow. At least that's what I've been reading up on.
So I think it has like 3 hop varieties and 3 malts. I have the list in the other room if you want to know.
Yeah, Cascade used to be a hop that was readily available in just about every beer. Galaxies were out there.
Would you like me to get the list real fast?
Sure.
Hold on. You can talk about the beer and start tasting if you'd like.
So the aroma is real hop forward. This is definitely made from true hops. You can smell it. I'm not really getting any pith. I'm getting a little. Jay called it vegetative. I'm kind of like a little flower stem coming off of it. But yeah, it's quite floral and quite pungent. So I'm gonna go ahead and taste this.
So they say, oh, and by the way, the bitterness units on this is 73. They use pale malt, C15, and Dextra Pills malts. The hops are Amarillo, Chinook, and Citra. Amarillo, Chinook, and Citra. Okay.
Those are good hops. Those are pretty classic West Coast style hops that are used in West Coast beers. Now this one to me would be considered a West Coast because I could see through it. I mean, if I put my finger in it, I can see my finger through it. It is slight. There's a very, very slight haze to
Yeah,
this.
if it didn't have the particles, it'd be totally clear, but it's
very slight. So slight. I mean, I can see my finger through
Yeah, I
it.
can
You
see
can't
it.
really. It's almost like a slight fog. You know, like you can see things in a fog.
like you have cataracts.
I reckon. I mean, I don't have cataracts, so I can't speak on that.
All right, taste time. Cheers.
Cheers. It's a big, bold beer. It's got a bold presence. It's very hop forward. It's real hop. You can taste it.
Yes.
And you get in that bitterness in it. That's hop bitterness. That's a whole heck of a lot different than what I describe as pith taste. There is no pith in this at all.
Yeah, it's really coming out.
Now you're tasting the difference, right? When I mentioned
Yeah,
it's pithy. Yeah, this is not pithy at all. This is hop bitterness.
This is the way it's supposed to be, and it's got sweet malt, sweet white bread malt. So I think it's probably 3 out of 5 sugar cubes, and it's probably close to 5 out of 5 hop cones, honestly. But it's at least 4.
You know what? I gotta agree with you 100% on that. And I think the sweetness level is very
Moderate, but it's there.
It's very mellow to moderate. The hops are there. The hops are real up there. The bitterness isn't like punch in your face bitterness, so I'm gonna give it a 4.5. But it's definitely there.
Makes you sneeze.
Yeah, the problem I have with this
Dust.
beer in the past was that it just, you got knocked out from it. And I couldn't tell if it was the alcohol or if it was the hops, because hops affect different people differently. Because there is a relation to marijuana strains in this. So if you don't believe it, read up on it.
And they made the dank dust. Remember that one? How that smelled? It had a very pungent smell.
Yeah, that smelled like pot. That smelled like pot.
They
I was almost worried about drinking that stuff and getting reported at work or something and having to go give my DNA
They had
in the form of liquid.
They had the little hop man character on there on the dank dust. He's like,
Yeah, and he looked like he was stoned.
yeah.
Yeah. Or there's some kind of characterization of that.
Anyway, so we need more beers from them. Wish y'all guys would send more stuff. And we like the space dust, and I'm going to give it a high score. I always do, but I'd like to see more variety.
Did you say y'all guys? What the heck?
You
is that?
guys?
That's like southern and northern mixed all in the same sentence.
Y'all guys
All right, Mr. Biden.
need to bring more variety out here.
I think this is a very good beer. I would appreciate getting more beers from this company in our area. It would probably sell. I think what's happening is that there's been a shift in the IPA palette in the area. A lot of the older IPA people have either stood their ground on saying I'm not going to drink the new IPAs, or have totally just given up on drinking IPAs. I will say this: I have dropped 50 pounds since I've stopped drinking craft beer.
It's very fattening.
Yes, it's very fattening and it's very taxing on
Yeah, 'cause when I first-
your natural filtration system,
When I-
which is your liver. And if you don't believe me, go on YouTube, look at some of these guys that are our age that are still doing, oh, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. They got what's called the muscle belly, which is all up here, sticking up, and then they got the lower belly. Most of them wearing, wearing those basketball shorts because they can't fit in their pants anymore. And what happens is that you're dealing with a beer, most of them like the cloudy ones, where in essence it's just an unfinished beer. So where does it filter out? Liver and kidneys. And you know what? Good luck on getting those things replaced, kids. So you need to cool it.
I remember
Drinking
back when I
something
first met
really
you,
good.
you were really doing all of that super high calorie high carb craft beer all the time, and you were like blown up. And then
That was 280.
and
2:30.
but it just but it was hurting you.
Yeah.
And you had medical problems with feet and everything.
Yeah, my feet got all pink, and I couldn't walk, and I had to get a boot to walk and all that. And I was just like, you know what, this is not worth it. It's not worth it. It's okay to taste one every now and then. I appreciate tasting one, but as far as like drinking that solely again.
Is it your standby beer? Nah, can't do it. I mean, you could, but you're going to pay if you want to play.
Yeah.
So anyway, moderation is important, and those things are not moderate.
If you guys look at some of the first videos that we made, there's a couple in there. I'm as big as a whale. Yeah. Yeah, a couple of them.
Yeah, it was. It's a big change. All right.
Yeah.
Well, so now we got to do the scoring. I'd like to go to Elysian and tour the brewery, but that's a long way.
Is that in Oregon or something?
Seattle, Washington. That's pretty far.
Well, if you make a trip to Mount Rainier, I mean, we can go all over, and there's a whole lot of little craft breweries and stuff all through Oregon and whatnot. Yeah, we can do a road trip.
Might be some
We
trip.
can do Louisiana beers from the road like we did when we were in Texas.
Man, the longest I ever drove was to San Francisco one time, and that was a long.
Oh, you got to take a month off to make a trip like that.
Yeah,
if you're going to do a road trip, you got to do it in a road car too. Get an old Crown Victoria. Buy an old police car. It's got like 150,000 miles on it, and bring it to your best mechanic you have, and get new tires, new brakes. Well, systems flushed, everything checked out, air conditioned, and then hit the road. Because that's a road car.
So not the Versa.
I would not recommend that. You think you can actually walk away from an accident in that? At least an old cop car you can.
It's got a good safety rating. All right, so score
So
now.
it's a Crown Victoria.
Now the score.
I'm going to give this an A. I'll score this right at about a 95.
That's what I was going to say. True story.
It's got there is some slight improvement that can go on with it. There is a slight imbalance with it, not much. I would appreciate it if this was a little bit more filtered. So more toward the West Coast original style. If it was a little bit more piney and a little filtered, because I'm not really getting much, if any, pininess on this. I'm getting some really good hop action on it, and there is this kind of like a graininess that you're drinking. I guess that's old dead yeast or something. I don't know. Yeah, it's got a cute little hop head on it and all that. So whatever. A lot of people into the art of cans and bottles, but it's amazing we still get this one in a bottle.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of people with cans, but we only get the bottles around here.
Yeah, we only get 6-pack bottles.
I haven't seen cans, and we don't get the stovepipes that they get like in Washington.
I've seen them here before.
The stovepipes?
Yeah.
Oh.
I picked them up from my special store.
Okay, well, Lazy LA Bon Ton Relay, we're going to end this review by saying y'all go to Seattle, Washington and take a brewery tour.
Drink better beers, kids, and that's a good one.